Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Hello and welcome into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm your host tonight, Cassidy Wood. A little bit of a quieter weekend here in Pittsburgh sports-wise with the Steelers on their bye. Of course, Pitt does have a home game tomorrow in Acrisure against Boston College. Penn State on the road on the West Coast at UCLA tomorrow. But yeah, the Steelers are off this weekend. Of course, no playoff baseball for us here in Pittsburgh. And I mean, the Pens did have their final preseason game tonight. But yeah, the season officially starts on Tuesday. So the only thing really to report from that game tonight is we saw all the starters get in, the big three, Ricard Raquel as well. And I mean, hey, they were playing Buffalo, who we don't think is going to be very good this season. They did go down 3-1. Sid ultimately won it in overtime. So at least they end the preseason on a high note. Again, their regular season starts on Tuesday. I'm joined alongside Jason Mackey tonight. And Jason, I want to talk some college football here first. Like I mentioned, Pitt, a big game tomorrow in Acrisure against Boston College. And I say big game not because of who their opponent is, but rather Pitt has not beaten a Power 4 team since October 24th of 2024. That's almost now a full calendar year since the Pitt Panthers have been able to beat just a Power 4 team, which, I mean, sounds crazy, but unfortunately it's not. So tomorrow they must pull out a win, especially at home. You know, coming off such an upsetting loss against Louisville last weekend, it's going to be a big one for Pitt tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely, Cassidy, and not necessarily because of the opponent. Like you're talking about Boston College, theoretically a mediocre team. I say that cautiously just because of how Pitt has played, but you know, you need to quiet the noise if you're Pitt right now. And Pat Narduzzi did not have a great showing against West Virginia, and then Pitt not handling its business against Louisville. It's been a long time. And let's not forget about the collapse over the second half of 2024. Yeah, a couple of wins early on against Duquesne, Eastern Michigan. I'm not sure that moves the needle at all. But, I mean, if you're going to tell me Pitt's 2-3 after this one with the losses to West Virginia, Louisville, and now Boston College at home, I mean, that is full-blown five-alarm territory for Pat Narduzzi and his handling of the Pitt program. So, yeah, they need a win in the worst way.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting, too. You know, Eli Holstein ended up getting sat in that fourth quarter against Louisville. He threw the pick. They were tied at 27. Louisville ended up scoring the touchdown on the ensuing drive, ultimately winning the game. Now, Eli did get sat out. He got benched for the final 10 minutes of that game. And Pat Narduzzi saying that, you know, he's going to start tomorrow. So, you know, what does that kind of do for a starting quarterback's confidence when you get benched in a game like that and then have to come back and start the following week?
Well, I mean, that's his job, Cassidy. He needs to play, and they need more from Eli Holstein. I guess in the old era of college football, I'd probably have a little bit more compassion, but Eli Holstein's making a pretty good amount of money to be Pitt's starting quarterback, and he needs to perform like it. And we would say that about a pro if they were making money and not delivering performance commensurate with that. And right now, that's Eli Holstein. His decision-making has been questionable. I know a few of my colleagues over here at The Fan have talked about Mason Heinchel potentially playing. And whether that happens or not, they need a lot more from Eli Holstein. They need a lot more from this Pitt offense. Pitt has invested in Cade Bell. They've bought into this system, and it really hasn't yielded a lot of results. And so, I mean, I need to see Eli Holstein protect the football. They've gotten into the red zone a decent amount of times. I believe they're 26th in NCAA or in FBS in terms of getting into the red zone, but they only have 11 touchdowns on 26 such trips, and that's nowhere near good enough. And when you're the quarterback, you're culpable for it. So I want to see a much bigger game from Eli Holstein here.
Yeah, and a couple of those trips to the red zone too, he threw picks in the end zone, and that's not something you want to see out of a starting quarterback. And the other thing too, Jason, is we heard a lot of almost excuses. You know, last year, the offensive line, they had a lot of injuries. There wasn't a lot of depth. He didn't have a whole lot of weapons in the pass game. But this offseason, they went to the transfer portal. They brought in depth on the O-line. They brought in some new receivers. And yet it still feels like, and granted, Eli Holstein was out for most of that, 5-game losing streak last year, but unfortunately he's back, and it still kind of feels like that same Pitt offense that just can't get anything going.
Yeah, I mean, they have not had a lot of consistency. If you look at them at running back, they're very thin. They have Desmond Reed, but that's it. And, their wide receivers, I thought early on they were poised to take the next step, and they really didn't build on that all that much. And they, like I said, they've been able to move the ball into the red zone, but that's it. And it really doesn't matter. I mean, this isn't horseshoes. They need to actually get some points out of those trips to the red zone. And, when you're investing as much as you are, time, effort, money, all that stuff into the offense, it needs to perform as such. And when you have a home game against Boston College, given the state that the Panthers find themselves in, there's really no excuse not to perform. The tests are going to get a lot harder and pretty quickly, too, in the ACC.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is probably the easiest, I would say one of the easiest opponents in the ACC that you could go up against and try to turn this around with. So hopefully they capitalize on that tomorrow. Guys, we're going to head to our first break. Give us a call, 412-575-2600. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. This is our Xfinity tweet of the night from Andrew Filipponi. How about this take? It's been harder for Pitt to replace Kenny Pickett than it's been for the Steelers to replace Ben Roethlisberger. Did anyone see that coming? I didn't. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like we've been talking about, Eli Holstein just has not really lived up to what we expected. And I think part of that problem too, Mackey, is he came out last season and led them to a 7-0 on a 7-0 run in the first half of that season. So I think our expectations were really high for this guy, and it's just kind of spiraled out of control here early in the season. Now, hopefully they can right the ship, but we're nearing that point, that halfway point where it almost becomes too late.
Yeah, really. And I mean, if you look at the Pitt program in larger context, like I was talking about in the first segment, I mean, the rubber's hitting the road here. And this is affecting more than just Eli Holstein. I mean, the offense is not performing up to expectations. The defense has done a good enough job keeping them in games, but they need to score points. I know that's a fairly obvious statement, but Pat Narduzzi needs to win games. This program needs to show progress. If you're athletic director Alan Green, how are you not looking at this extremely critically and saying, look, this is the doorstep to my athletic program, in many ways the doorstep to the university. This program needs to be very good. Pat Narduzzi's being paid a lot of money. They paid money to bring Eli Holstein here. They paid money to keep Eli Holstein. They invested in him, and right now they're not getting any return on investment. So, I mean, yes, there's more that goes into it. They addressed the offensive line via the transfer portal, like you were talking about. They don't have enough depth at running back. Some of the wide receivers have shown signs. They also paid money to bring offensive coordinator Cade Bell here. And you have a team at home. Again, in the scenario that we find the Pitt Panthers in, they need to take care of business.
Yeah, and another team, too, looking to rebuttal tomorrow, Penn State, as they take on UCLA. Just such a heartbreaker, the loss against Oregon, ended on a Drew Aller pick. And, Mackey, just really quick, I want to touch on this. I mean, James Franklin now 4-21 against top 10 teams. And his quarterback, Drew Aller, he's been with the program for 4 years. He's now 1-6 against top 10 teams. I mean, at some point, it's like, how many chances are you going to get? And, I mean, look, UCLA, an 0-4 program, it's going to be probably a slaughter tomorrow, and it should be, really. They should come out with a statement win tomorrow to kind of prove to everyone, hey, we still got this thing going. But, I mean, Franklin said, I'm not going to let one loss dictate our season. I'm not going to let one loss or a few losses dictate my career. But unfortunately, when you have 25 chances and you come out with 4 wins, I mean, at a certain point, it kind of does start dictating your career a little bit.
I know. And Franklin said it, too. It was after that Oregon loss, right, Cassidy? He's like, It's not a narrative. It's fact. They have not beaten elite teams. And if you fashion yourself as an elite program, which Penn State does, you need to take care of the best teams on your schedule. Yes, I agree with you. I expect this to be a slaughter. UCLA is a mess. This game should not be close. But Penn State needs to use this game for what it is, and that's an opportunity to sort of find itself. Last week, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton against Oregon got nothing going on the ground. I think they averaged a combined 3 yards a carry. Drew Aller was not good. I mean, they need to find the best version of Drew Aller. If you're Penn State, and I understand where James Franklin is coming at with this stuff, believe me, where you say, look, Ohio State took 2 conference losses last year. They were able to regroup and still win the national championship. And he's right. with the new era of college football, all of that stuff is still in front of Penn State. But that starts with taking care of business against teams like UCLA. That starts with finding some sort of rhythm and getting your best players to play like their best players. There's no excuse for Drew Aller not being elite. He has been around for everything he can possibly be at. I want to see him perform in bigger games, but the next biggest game is UCLA tomorrow, and he needs to show out. Yeah.
Switching gears a little bit, let's talk some Pirates. I know you're exciting news. You're back on the Pirates beat, so very, very exciting for you. Early, but in this off season. But some moves have been made with the pitching staff. Just what have you made, Mackey, out of for I guess week or so since the season ended? The moves that the Pirates have made. Are you happy with them? Are you hoping to see more? Obviously, Ben Cherington is staying. Travis Williams also saying that they're on track to make the playoffs next year. So just where are your thoughts with all of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a rough couple of days in Pirates land, Cassidy. I'm not breaking any news to anybody. I think a lot of people, including myself, expected Ben Cherington to be gone. And it's a tough one to explain. If you're Travis Williams, if you're Ben Cherington, what are they doing? And you want people to believe in what you're doing. You want to have a plan. And I do think they can have a plan this offseason to get back to competitiveness, and they have some money available to spend, and they need to go out and spend it on a couple bats. And I don't mean like 5 or 6, lower level guys. I mean like, 1 or 2 really elite bats, get guys in here to anchor the middle of that lineup. But that hasn't been done. So we're really not going to have anything that changes fan sentiment until those things happen, if those things happen. But for right now, there have been some coaching changes. I totally understand it. Donnie Kelly has the right to compile the best staff or the right staff. I know that I was reporting some stuff about why they made the change with Oscar Marine. Pitchers felt like they weren't reaching the best version of themselves. The Pirates felt they had another level to reach. I think they're still evaluating the hitting side of things. I don't take the moves that were made as like signing off on Matt Haig and the hitting program that everything's okay. They know that it's not. That's going to be something they address later in the offseason. But the Pirates need to do business differently this offseason. If they want to get people on their side to believe in what they're doing, they need to go out and make a couple really attention-grabbing signs on the offensive side.
And with that, let's go out to the phone lines. We have Jimmy in Point Breeze. Jimmy, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Hey, Jason, I had a question kind of directed at you since you're pretty dialed in with the Pirates brass. So we had a very successful season pitching, and we got rid of our pitching coach because the players were seemingly not thrilled or thought we could do better. But then I'm also hearing about the players complaining about things like the batter's eye not being painted black and asking.
Oh, no, we lost him.
We lost Jimmy.
We lost him. Well, I mean,
I can guess what he was getting at. I hear it a lot.
Yeah.
Probably about the players' complaints on the hitting side and why haven't they been fixed or why haven't they been addressed. I don't think they're going to manipulate PNC Park, if that's what Jimmy's asking. Whether they're right or wrong, it's just I have not heard much movement on that front. What I said earlier about the hitting staff is, earlier in the week, the moves they made with Oscar Marine, Brent Strom, those are easy because those guys are on expiring contracts. That's the decision not to bring those guys back. As far as guys under contract, that would include Matt Haig. That's stuff they're still looking at right now. And so I do expect something to be done, Cassidy. I don't expect them to fire Matt Haig, but I do expect them to look at this and say, hey, is there a better way we can do this? Is there a way we can get through to young hitters in ways that we haven't before? And so I think you're going to see some shuffling in the coaching staff and roles, and maybe they have a new hitting coach in here, and maybe Matt Haig plays a different role in the staff. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, hopefully the development improves. It is still early, so we'll see what happens in the next week. Guys, remember to tap your phone, scan the QR code up there. Penn West University question of the night. Who should be the Penn's #1 goalie? We saw Tristan Jarry in net tonight for a little bit. We know the drama with him last season. Should he get the start this year? Let us know. Tap your phone, scan that QR code. All right, we're going to head to break again. Give us a call, 412-575-2600. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Nightly Sports Call. We're going to go straight out to the phone lines. Going to try to squeeze some more guys in here. We have John in Cranberry. John, what's going on?
Hey, Cassidy and Jason, it's good to talk to you. So, really tough week I'm a loyal Pirates fan, and I'm not going any more games next year with what happened this week. And I could go on for an hour about Ben Cherington and the bottom 30th in the league, the bottom in the majors of every offensive category. But quickly, what I wanted to say is also Travis Williams. I saw the interview with Noah Hiles. Think about what transpired this season, the Bucco bricks, the Clemente ad, the Wall ad, the usher that hit the fan with a belt, the Skeens bobblehead failures. Why is Travis Williams back? Why does he have a job? And why didn't Bob Nutting come out and answer to the music on Monday when at least he did? So let me hear your feedback. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, remember too, they misspelled Kutch's name on the back of his jersey. Yeah, just a lot of issues on the logistical side as well this season. And I mean, it's a great question, Mackey. You're probably well more prepared to answer than me on Travis Williams and his role here.
Oh, goody, thank you. No, I'm just kidding. So, I mean, I don't have a magical answer for why Travis Williams deserves to stay. I mean, I don't understand as much as you do, John. I will say this about Bob Nutting, and this is not a defense of it in any level. I mean, he needs to come out and answer questions the same way his general manager and president and players and everybody else has had to answer for a lousy season. I do think Bob will meet with the media at some point, probably at some point soon. But as far as bringing Travis Williams back, if your job as a sports entertainment entity is to relate to fans and project some sort of positivity, the Pirates have fallen short in that. So, you know, sort of the same way with bringing Cherington back. I don't totally understand it, but it is their decision. So I don't know. I don't have a magic answer.
Maybe the light at the end of the tunnel, and correct me, Mackey, if I'm wrong, but maybe there's a bigger light at the end of the tunnel this season as opposed to last season. And it felt like they kind of gave us a definitive answer. We will be in the playoffs next year. So if that's not the case, I mean, they got to answer some really big questions next year, and they really should really blow it up, I would think. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has to sort of be on notice. They have to.
Yeah, agree with you. All right, thank you so much for joining me tonight, Jace, and thank you guys for checking in. I'll be here tomorrow night, same place, same time with Jason. So if you didn't get your call in, call us tomorrow night. I'll see you guys later.